Jack Jericho was a young teacher living in New York City, seemingly completely content with his life. Every day is a new chance for him to show his abilities in what he considers his real passion, the art of dating girls. Jack is proud of himself, calling himself an expert at picking up girls, because for him it is not just a hobby, but a real game, where he aims to conquer every girl who meets on his way. His days are full of lightness and fun, his way of speaking and behaving radiates confidence. He always knows what to say to win attention and how to succeed where others may have already given up. One day, his regular walk through the bustling streets ends with an unexpected encounter. Jack spots a girl who instantly catches his attention. It's Randy Jensen, a bright, independent and beautiful woman who works as a tour guide. Her voice sounds confident, she is energetic and doesn't seem like someone who is easily influenced by anyone else. Jack watches her while she finishes her work and then decides to walk over and start a conversation. He chooses his best methods: light jokes, flirty remarks, sincere compliments. But Randy makes it clear right away that she's not the type to be easily impressed. Her witty responses throw Jack off his usual rhythm, but instead of frustration, he feels excitement. He wonders how far their interactions will go. Randy makes it clear that she doesn't trust men like him and isn't about to waste her time with frivolous men. Her penetrating gaze and the firmness in her voice indicate that she has some serious life experience under her belt that has taught her to keep her distance. For Jack, this becomes a challenge. He's not used to rejection, and his interest in Randy only intensifies. Not only is she beautiful, but she is clearly intelligent, independent, and has her own opinions. Jack decides that she is worth his efforts, and begins to find reasons to meet her again. Gradually, his presence becomes a permanent fixture in her life. At first she resists, but Jack, like a true master of his craft, finds ways to win her over. He is willing to wait, convincing her that his interest is genuine. Jack soon learns that Randy has good reason to be wary. Her life is far from perfect. Her father, Flash Jensen, a former musician and charismatic man, ruined his life because of his passion for gambling. He owed a huge sum to a criminal mastermind and is now under threat. Randy has to work as a tour guide to cover some of his debts and try to keep her family afloat. Her independence and toughness are not inborn traits, but the result of constant struggle with life's difficulties. She has to be strong because there is no one around to carry some of her load. Jack learns of her problems and unexpectedly offers to help. He doesn't know what he's getting into, but he feels he can't stay away. At first Randy is hesitant. Her experience tells her that relying on others is a path to disappointment. But Jack's persistence and sincerity make her reconsider. He is ready not only to listen, but also to act. Jack begins to look for ways to help Randy and her father. Flash, meanwhile, continues his irresponsible behavior. His attempts to get even only increase the amount he owes, and his promises to quit gambling become less and less convincing. Randy finds herself trapped, realizing she can't just leave her father, but it's becoming increasingly difficult to continue fighting for his life alone. Jack becomes her rock. He ceases to be the frivolous man who is only interested in new acquaintances. In him awakens seriousness and responsibility, which he did not even know. The path to solving the problem turns out to be full of challenges. Jack and Randy encounter harsh people who are engaged in debt collection. They are dangerous and do not tolerate mistakes. Jack uses all his charm and cunning to negotiate, compromise and buy time. However, every time they solve one problem, a new one arises. Flash's debt is mounting, and the situation is becoming more and more critical. Jack realizes that simple methods won't work, and he has to think strategically. Meanwhile, Jack and Randy's relationship begins to change. They no longer play a role. Jack opens up to Randy, showing that his interest in her goes beyond the usual game. She in turn begins to see him as someone she can trust. Their combined efforts against a common enemy bring them closer together. They share their fears and doubts with each other, and this helps them feel stronger. The climax comes when Flash's debt reaches a critical point and the threat becomes a real danger. Jack and Randy realize they can't put off the solution any longer. They devise a daring plan that takes guts and determination. At the heart of the plan is the idea of repaying the debt without resorting to violence, but at the same time playing the situation in their favor. The risk is great, but they no longer have a choice. The final confrontation proves tense. Jack uses his communication skills to literally pull Randy and her father out of the clutches of dangerous men. He manages to negotiate an end to the harassment, but it's not easy. When it's over, Jack and Randy realize that they've been through more than just solving a problem. They have become partners, a true team. The story ends on a warm note. Randy begins to see the world in a more positive light, realizing that he can count on someone other than himself. Jack, on the other hand, changes beyond recognition. He no longer sees himself as a rental specialist because he finds true happiness in sincere feelings and caring for another person. Their walk in the evening New York becomes a symbol of the beginning of a new stage of their lives, where they are no longer alone, but together they are able to overcome any difficulties,